Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Koketso here. So today I've got some, different content. So I've asked a few friends of mine to actually record videos answering questions that I felt were relevant and that you might also be interested in knowing. So they'll be talking about their reasons for moving to China, as well as how long they stayed there for, the reasons that made them stay there in China, and if some of them have left, why they left, like me. So I hope that you'll enjoy it.
Hello, my name is Tasha and I am from the UK. I first came to China after I had graduated from university.
Hi everyone, I'm Danielle and I'm from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean.
So, what made you move to China? I didn't have any plan. I did my SOTA and I was like, oh, where am I gonna go? Someone recommended China, so I said, okay. Literally, that was it. And then I got a job with EF and I didn't do any research.
So I've been in China for 1 year and 8 months. So it's almost been 2 years. And when I initially came, I intended to spend 1 to 2 years. But now coming down to the end of the 2 years, I definitely see myself here for another 1 to 2 years. And that's primarily because of savings. China allows me to save. And there's no other job at home or any other part of the world that I can have right now that would allow me this lifestyle as well as the ability to save.
I first came to China after I had graduated from university. I applied to it without really thinking. It just popped up onto my LinkedIn, and a week later I got a phone call asking to arrange an interview. I decided to come to China because I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a career, but I knew I wanted to travel, and it was an easy way to spend a few years figuring out what I wanted to do without wasting them. And I also got to save a bit of money while I was at it. I really have enjoyed my time in China. I've been here for about 2 years now.
I would definitely say you should have a timeline in mind for how long you want to be here. It's always good to have aims. That timeline might change. It might be shorter. If you're not really liking the place, it might be longer. But it's definitely good to have a timeline, at least to give China a chance and experience it completely. I'd say at least 2 years. And what to expect when coming to China, I would say expect that the hygiene will be different, because it is different. Expect a different mentality in terms of communication style. The way the Chinese communicate, it's different from the way foreigners communicate. And I definitely say try to get to China with a recruiter or a company that's reputable, for your own happiness. Because I've heard stories, and I'm sure you have heard stories, where people come and their company is not so good, especially if it's in English teaching, and they're not happy where they are, and that really throws you off and makes your experience not so good, as they say over here. So definitely try to talk to some people that work at your company, some foreigners, before you come, and see how they like it. So that's my advice.
And I didn't do any research whatsoever, so I literally went in blind. but I think that was the best thing to do, because then I didn't have any opinions in my head, and I wasn't there like, oh, this person felt like this other person felt like that. So everything I experienced was, for me, like personal. It wasn't based off other people's opinion. I was never confused about how long I was going to stay there for, because I just decided I'm just going to go. If I like it, then I'll stay for longer. If I don't like it, then I'll leave, which is something I really enjoyed, because then I didn't feel like any pressure to be like, I'm only here for a year, or I only have 6 months to do all of this. So it felt like freeing in a way. And actually say don't do research. Like obviously research the job, but don't do too much research into where you're going, or don't ask for too many people's opinions, because that might cloud your judgment. And I would say just go in with like an open mind.
I've stayed in China for 2 years because when I first moved here, my initial contract was for 15 months, and I decided to re-sign for another 12 months after that because I loved the people that I ended up meeting. I met people from different nationalities: American, fellow British people, South African, people from other areas of Africa, a New Zealand person, just all these different nationalities that I'd never gotten the chance to meet at university back in the UK. I probably would have never gotten a chance to meet them again. It's been really interesting meeting people of different nationalities. It's been really interesting learning the Chinese culture. It's a very big shock when you first get off the plane and everything's written in these characters you don't understand, and people look different, and their mannerisms are different, and they're also shocked by you. A lot of people, especially in the city I live in, which is Jiangyin, it's a little local area, so they do stare a little bit, but you get used to it, and they're all so friendly. Everyone's so friendly here and very unassuming. Like, you can do anything and they just think you're doing it for good reasons, or they don't understand because of their culture. It's very interesting to see how other people think of you and your own mannerisms and the things they find odd as well. It's definitely very interesting to find out.
There are some things that are different there, so people will stare at you and people may take your photos. It never bothered me because I think you get to a point where you zone it out and you don't notice it, and I wouldn't take it personally. I think especially if you're going to a smaller town or city, they're just not used to foreigners, so don't take it like, oh my god, like, why are they taking photos? They think I'm a weirdo. I think it's just genuinely like, wow, what is a foreigner doing like in this town of all places? And my other tip is to travel. Like, travel as much as you can and try as much food as you can. Sometimes there is no such thing as like privacy. If you go to hospitals, expect other people to be there with you.
When I first came to China, I was with a company called EF, English First. They're a very good company in terms of getting you to China. The process of interviewing, understanding what I needed for a job, they put me through TEFL, they sponsored my TEFL certificate and paid for it. And they also helped with the visa process. The visa process is a little bit long-winded. You do need a lot of background checks and it does cost a little bit of money, but I managed to pay for all of it on a part-time waitressing job over about 2 months, I think it took, to go through the entire process. So it's not as difficult and horrible as it first appears. The hardest bit probably was when it came to booking the actual flight to China. That's when it felt real. It took, like, over the space of 2 months, you kind of think, oh, I'm doing this, but it's not until you purchase the actual flight ticket that you realise, oh, I'm actually going to China. But it's definitely been one of the best choices I've ever made, all because I decided to apply for a job on a whim.
China. The reasons that I came to China are the same reasons I would like to keep on living here at least for 1 to 2 more years. and that would be savings. I'm able to make a decent salary and save. So that's one. The low crime rate is another reason, because I was aware due to statistics that China has a low crime rate, and you know, I would feel safe, especially at night. When I just got here, I had to take the subway from work and walk home at night, and it felt strange because I can't walk home at night after 9 p.m. or even after 7 p.m. when it's dark. So I really like being able to walk at night, feel comfortable when I'm traveling and such.
It's definitely very interesting to find out. I do think I'm going to stay for another year after my contract, but I'd like to move further north up China, get more of an idea of what the country is. Just because that all these people are from one country doesn't mean they are the same. The north is drastically different from the south, and I'm excited to see just how different it is, what the changes are like, what the people are like. Yeah, I'm really excited to stay in China for another year, and I can't wait to see what my new school and location will be like.
Being in China gives you a bit of peace of mind when it comes to your safety, and it definitely allows you to save, especially when you're with the right company, the right school. The possibilities are endless. So I definitely do see myself staying here for at least another 1 to 2 years. There are challenges and there are things that I miss about the Western world, but I'm willing to sacrifice. I'd say for another 1 to 2 years before I go back to the West.
So thank you guys, and see you next week. Bye.